talk about you drink, you drive. We don't talk about what you lose. So I'm going to talk about what you lose. And then I'm going to talk about what I lost. My son was walking on the sidewalk, day just like today, January 1st, 2013, when an impaired driver going 75 miles an hour in a residential neighborhood struck him and his girlfriend from behind. They were brought here to UMC. I see him over in the corner. I'm very fortunate today to see Dr. Coates again, because Dr. Coates is actually the doctor. Raise your hand. Dr. Coates. Dr. Coates is actually the trauma doctor that saw my son. And I wanted to thank him. Jesse did not survive having to have that conversation with his brother. How many people have siblings? Brothers, sisters? Okay. Well, my kids are 20 months apart in age, so they're bookends. Everybody called Jesse Jeremy, called Jeremy Jesse. But I had to look at my son and tell him that his brother was no longer with us. There is nothing worse in this life than having to tell your child that his best friend, the person he looked up to, is gone because someone else made a very poor decision. And someone else, not only them, but their friends around them, their parents, their siblings also made a bad decision. Because this was not one person's decision to drive impaired. Other people knew that they were impaired and still let them drive. So you may be in that situation where you say, I don't want to be in the car with you, or let me drive. That's the other decision you have to make. What you may lose is time. You may lose friends. The person who was driving the vehicle that killed my son is now sitting in the detention center in Carson City for the next 8 years minimum, 8 to 20 years. He's eligible for parole February 5th, 2021. I remember that day. What else did he lose when he comes out? How's he supposed to get a driver's license? Because they take your driver's license and you have to go back through all that. How are you supposed to get insurance? How are you supposed to get a car? How are you supposed to get a job? Background checks. All get a job, and doing something little, but then that company's not going to give you the keys to their vehicle to deliver something because you have a record. Friends. Carson City's really far away. Do you think friends and family go to see him? No. I doubt it. His life's dramatically changed because he made a decision and no one else that was there stood up and said, no, you're not driving. No, let me out the car. No, give me the keys. It's very simple. I recently had to do it. I recently had to tell a friend, no, you're not driving, and pull the keys out of their hand. You're not driving, not on my watch. And I'm in my 40s. But I said it in front of a group of people, no, you're not driving. What we lost, you can't even begin to imagine. Friends. You would think, oh, your friends will rally around you. They will for a period of time, but not when you can't go to Buffalo Wild Wings because that's the last place you ate with your son before he was killed. Not if when you go out to lunch, you have to tell everybody not to have lemon on their iced tea because if anybody has lemon on their iced tea, I start to cry because lemon was Jesse's absolute favorite. Because all I have now are memories of my son. I don't have my son here. My younger son, Jeremy, doesn't have his brother here, and he's struggling. Struggling is putting it lightly. He's now older than his brother was. How are you older than your older brother? He's going through a great change right now. Jeremy is about to be a father. He woke up crying the other night because he realized that his daughter will not know her uncle because someone chose to drive impaired. And I want to echo what the mayor said. It's not just alcohol, because the driver was impaired, he was drunk, but he was also high. Recreational marijuana is going to cause a huge problem in this town because people think, oh, I'm okay. If you think, oh, I'm okay, you're probably not. You have to be willing to be the strong one and say, take the keys away from them. Say, no, you're not driving, or say, no, I'm not riding with you. You don't know it until you're on this side. I lost the chance to have one of my grandchildren. Jesse's girlfriend, Anne-Marie. Jesse was able to step between the car and Anne-Marie and saved her life, but she will not be my daughter-in-law. She will not have my grandchildren. We're still friends. We still talk. We speak out many times, but that connection's gone. I don't have that. One decision. There was a passenger in the car.
Cardiovascular care unit, bed 5. Code blue. Cardiovascular care unit, bed 5.
That's important, so. You may be the passenger in a car, and you may be the one that has to say, slow down, stop, let me out. There was a passenger in the car. Did he say that? He said, dude, I think you're going a little too fast. That was it. That's all he said. Maybe he wasn't the one that actually killed my son and injured Anne-Marie, but he has that vision in his head for the rest of his life. The rest of his life.
Code blue, cardiovascular care unit, room 5. Code blue, cardiovascular care unit, room 5.
The gentleman in the passenger seat, and I use the term gentleman lightly, had nightmares for weeks. And how do I know this? Because he happened to go to church. He went to his priest and asked for help. Unfortunately, he also attended the same church that someone we knew did. Because he actually saw my son before they hit him. Locked eyes with him. So the last thing my son saw was this person in the passenger seat that could have prevented it all by saying, slow down, stop, let me drive. Anything. I speak out because there are people in my situation that can't do it. The reason why I can do it, my faith in God brought me through everything. If I can just get you, just. All you have to say is, I'm not putting my life in your hands. I'll call my parents. I'll call an older sibling. I'll call a friend. If you don't have a friend that will come get you when you're riding with someone else who's impaired, then you need to rethink your friends. You really do. Someone will come get you, regardless if it's past curfew, if you're saying, I don't feel comfortable driving with this person anymore. What have I lost? I'm now getting back to where I was with my career, because who wants to work with a lady who sits at her desk and cries all day? I don't cry every day. I cried last night. I'll probably cry again today because I stood in front of you all. But I was the one that never cried. I was the rock of the family. They can't handle it when I cry now. I cry all the time. I probably hadn't cried since my dad passed when the boys were 5. So 13 years, I probably hadn't cried. Waking up and thinking, this was all a bad dream. No. Your lives can be affected by one person. You can be the one that affects that one person's life by saying, no, I'm not going to drive, I'm not going to allow you to drive. Think before you get behind the wheel. There are a lot of lives at stake here. Pedestrians, other drivers. You can't get that back. And I'm going to tell you something I told the kids for years. Sorry doesn't cut it. Standing in court and telling me, I'm sorry, I never meant for this to happen. I'm sorry, that doesn't cut it. That doesn't work. No. You can't just say, I'm sorry. It's not like you broke my lamp. You killed my son. What would you just say to someone that you had critically injured or even killed? Would you support your friend if you were the one in the car, in the passenger seat, when you let them drive? No, many people wouldn't. Take that split second and think, my life's worth more than this, and I don't know whose life I may save by not. Thank you.